It was just past 5 p.m. in the busy streets of Lagos, and the offices on the island were emptying out as people rushed home. In one of the tall glass buildings stood Amaka, a cleaner at a popular tech company. Every day after staff had left, she swept the offices, emptied bins, and made sure the bathrooms sparkled. She wore a faded uniform, and though her sandals were worn out, her spirit never was. Amaka had worked there for over a year, quietly moving around the office like a shadow, barely noticed by the young tech employees who typed away on their laptops, sipping coffee and discussing startups and funding rounds. She earned just enough to pay rent in her one-room face-me-I-face-you apartment in AJ, and feed her younger brother Chuka, who had dropped out of school when their mother fell sick and passed away. What no one knew was that every evening before heading home, Amaka would quietly approach the office kitchen. She would peek inside to see if anyone was around. Then, with shaky hands, she'd open the fridge to gather leftover food the workers had discarded. Half-eaten jollof rice, cold meat pies, sandwiches from morning meetings. She would wrap it all carefully in old newspaper, hide it in her bag, and walk out as if nothing had happened. One Thursday evening, she didn't know that someone had seen her. Her boss, Mr. Tunde, the company's CEO, had stayed late for a video call with investors in London. As he was heading out, he saw Amaka at the fridge, stuffing something into her bag. She hadn't seen him. Curious, and honestly a bit confused, he decided to follow her, not to confront her but to understand. Something about her actions struck a chord in him. He followed her carefully, taking an Uber and asking the driver to stay some distance behind. He watched her stop at a small buka to collect a Nun 100 loaf of bread before heading into a crowded part of AJ. He got down quietly and watched as she entered a compound full of families, children playing with old tires and plastic bottles. He saw her go into a small room, then come out with a young boy, her brother. They sat on a broken plastic chair under the mango tree, sharing the food she had collected, laughing and talking like nothing else mattered in the world. Moved by what he had seen, Mr. Tunde left quietly. That night he couldn't sleep. Memories of his own childhood haunted him. He too had once been poor, hawking groundnuts with his mother in Ibadan before he got a scholarship that changed everything. He saw something of his past in Amaka's present. The next day at work, Amaka feared something was wrong. When she arrived, the receptionist told her the CEO wanted to see her. Her heart dropped. Had she been caught? Was she going to be fired? She whispered a prayer and entered his office nervously. But instead of anger, Tunde greeted her warmly. "Sit down, Amaka," he said gently. She obeyed, unsure of what was happening. "I saw you last night," he began. Her face turned pale. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to steal, I just—" "No, Amaka. You didn't steal. You took what others were throwing away. For your brother, right?" Tears welled up in her eyes. She nodded, unable to speak. "I want to help," he said. "You've worked here for over a year without complaints. You're honest, hardworking, and you take care of your family. That's rare." He offered her a new position, office assistant, with a much better salary. He also promised to sponsor her brother's return to school and even offered a small apartment for them closer to work. Amaka broke down in tears. She couldn't believe it. She thanked him over and over again, promising to work even harder. The other staff were shocked when they heard the story. Many of them hadn't even known her name before that day. From that moment, Amaka's life changed. She began to dress better, smile more, and even started night classes. Chuka went back to school and started playing football again. Every time she walked into the office now, she was greeted with respect. As for Mr. Tunde, he started a small foundation to support workers like Amaka, people who worked in silence, but carried the world on their shoulders. This story reminds us that sometimes the people we overlook are fighting battles we can't imagine. It also shows that kindness doesn't cost a thing, but it can change everything. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Your support helps us keep telling powerful Nigerian stories like this one. Let us know what you would have done if you were in Amaka's shoes. See you in the next story.